Good evening. This is the Facilities Committee meeting, June 26th. I call the meeting to order. Matt Helms is on the phone, and we're going to approve the agenda, and there's a couple changes to the agenda. Under open section action, we're going to remove the sales tax reimbursements, the Indian Trail, each HVAC bids, and the discarded fence materials. So there'll only be one item on the Porter Ridge on the open session action. And then under closed session, we're removing one of the items there, and we'll do that during closed session. Okay, so I need a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Burnett, Porter Ridge High and Porter Ridge Middle.
Okay, a little recap here. We did bid this bond project. We actually bid it twice. We bid it, didn't have enough bidders. We re-advertised bid again. We had a bid that was within budget. However, that bidder withdrew the bid after they discovered a clerical error. So the second low bidder is over budget. And so we do need to rework that project, that scope. We are working with the architect. We will be working with the apparent low bidder. But we do have an action item for you all, and that is that staff's requesting that the committee allow us to conduct a hearing regarding Randolph and Son Builders bid withdrawal. So that is our action item.
And then you would come back to us after that hearing and we would go from there, or do you start working with the second bidder all at the same time?
We're trying to go as fast as we can, with all the work. So, and this bid withdrawal just came today.
Right.
So we don't see anything that appears inconsistent or wrong with their bid withdrawal. It's a clerical error. We have seen their spreadsheet. It makes sense. What happened. With that. So we aren't anticipating any issue. With that hearing, we are working with the architects to describe some reductions to the scope. If you remember, it's the high school and the middle school combined together. We aren't recommending any reductions at the middle school. At the high school, we're looking at a 1 or 2 classroom reduction from the 4 that are in the bond. So when we presented this at the beginning of the repackaging of the bond, we had always said that those the 2 classrooms, maybe that is something that comes off the table, if funding is not sufficient. So it appears as though that's the environment that we're in. So the architect will be reworking some of the details. We have to get some information back from them on what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. We'll also work with the contractor with some VE items that they may propose.
So are we going to wait for the company who withdrew to rebid, or are we moving forward with the second?
We're going to move forward with the second low bidder.
Okay. And just to clarify, you said 1 or 2 classrooms. I thought the alternates was 2 classrooms or 4 classrooms.
That's correct. And what we want to make sure of is what makes financial sense. Again, trying to maximize our dollars. It may in fact be 2 classrooms, but I just wanted to kind of leave it open just to make sure.
So the alternates will be 2 or 4?
Well, at this point, we won't have alternates. What we'll do is we will just be working with the contractor and the architect to get the project would be within budget. And so the scope will be reduced. We'll have some other possible value engineering items. But we will look at delivering either 2 or 3 classrooms. But at this point right now, let's count on 2. And if we can make the 3rd one happen, that would be great.
Because I thought we had discussed either 2 or 4. I don't remember discussing 1 or 3.
We had talked about 4 classrooms being in the scope, and with a possible 2 classrooms as being the bid alternate. And we can.
But what he's saying is that to value engineer it to get it in the budget amount, maybe it's 3 classrooms instead of 4. And since we were talking about them all being kind of open with partitions in between them, I guess it doesn't doesn't, whether it's 3 or 2, but we did, Ms. Merrill's correct, we did talk about 4 or 2. But what he's saying is now that we're value engineering the bid back to in our budget, maybe we could get 3 out of it or whatever.
Will we also find out what the bid would be if it was just the back corridor and no classrooms? Will we have that option or no?
We can talk with the contractor and see
Okay.
how they priced it and see if we can't break that out, if that's a desire. Yeah.
That would be good. That would be a good idea.
Okay.
So right, to break out no classrooms, 1 classroom, 2, 3, whatever it is, and then just the cafeteria in the back corridor that we were talking about in closing.
And
Okay.
what that is going to resemble the Cuthbertson, and Marvin Ridge designs.
Right. Exactly.
And that would help with circulation,
Oh,
Right.
tremendously,
Exactly.
yes.
Okay.
It still
With such a
accomplishes that
large-
goal.
Yes.
enrollment. Okay.
It would help with capacity in the cafeteria and
Correct.
circulation,
Mhm.
both, which is
Perfect.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there's no more questions, we need a motion to recommend to the full board that we allow staff to conduct a hearing regarding Randolph and Son Builders bid withdrawal.
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that'll be on the agenda for the full board. So the next item is just an information item and Benton Heights change orders.
Yes, we had, been nice we encountered asbestos. And as you may recall, that project really did not have, we had to value engineer that project to get it into budget. So we didn't have very much float as far as financing goes. What we did was we did a deductive change order to the contract, the general contract, $57,000. There were 2 items. One was $13,000, one was $44,000. We combined them and deducted it from the funds from the general contract, and then applied that to the asbestos contractor's contract. We encountered asbestos. We had to get that abated. We also did the same thing, deducted $19,000 from the allowances from the general contract to cover the consultant costs. This is the asbestos consultant to design and monitor the asbestos abatement. So that's just for information. Just wanted to let you all know. That was a sizable, change, and we didn't want to go too far down the road without letting you know about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so now I need a motion to go into closed session pursuant to NCGS 143.318.10 and .11 to review minutes from prior closed session meetings and NCGS 143-131 for the consideration of bids.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
cover all the bases. So Nick, second.
All there. Okay, we're back from closed session. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
So Fairview-
Second, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Fairview was already on the, well, yes, Fairview.